Welcome to Violin Adventures number 93. We have another packed full episode, so I hope you enjoy. We start off with a visit from one of our listeners, and he is another harp maker here in Kentucky. And we had a great time visiting, and so I'll show you just a little bit about him. We have a visitor here at the shop. This is Davey with John Kovac Harps.
Hello, everybody. It's a privilege and an honor to be here in Cheryl's shop. It's quite awesome.
Here is a picture of one of their latest harps made from special wood so that it won't be too heavy. And here you can hear it being played. Now back to work on our Minnesota violin. Well, it is time to take the clamps off of our Minnesota violin. And now we're going to continue shaping this bass bar until we get the right shape and also the right tone. It's sounding good right now, but it's just a little bit too much wood on there, so we're taking it off. Well, here we are. I finished carving the bass bar and it's all done. The next step we need to do now is to put our cleats in where they need to go. All right, we're taking off the clamps, holding the cleats on, and we're going to take the cleats down. Okay, our cleats are in and in the direction so that they will allow the vibrations to continue up and down the plate. In fact, they grab hold and keep them going. And now I'm going to tap it and make sure that it's still ringing. And it's sounding good. I think that's probably the best it has sounded so far. Yeah, that's good. It's ringing up and down the plate. Yes, I can feel the vibrations. So, the vibrations are traveling. That's good. Okay, we have the back here, and I found that the blocks, the ribs were nice and firm and connected, and the lining was connected. Everything was good, but the blocks were not glued down. I mean, it must have over time somehow got disconnected. So I glued these overnight, and that block is good. It is firm and connected. and this one is too. So now if we tap this, yes, now the vibrations are free to transfer from the top to the back, through the blocks, through the sound post. Everything should be connected. If you find it's not connected, that's not good. So this should help too with the tone. I'm going to check and see if everything looks good. The hide glue minute. Okay, it's the second day and I'm warming up my glue, which has hardened overnight, but I wanted you to see how the color is a light color and very clear and clean. So when you're doing repairs, it doesn't leave any line, or I've seen some people with really dirty hide glue because they don't keep it clean or they don't change it every week, and so it can leave a black line. So I just wanted you to see clear and clean hide glue, and we're going to put it in here and warm it up for today. Okay, I'm here with my hot glue, and I want to show you how I test to see if the glue is ready. This has been cooking for a couple hours, and then I had to go somewhere, so I turned it off, and I'm just warming it back up. And this is how I check. I put just a tiny bit, a tiny drop. And the more I do this, the drier my fingers get, but I can see the strength. It's really pulling. It's pulling on my skin there, see? And when I know that's really nice and strong. And I keep doing it and it continues to pull apart. So then I know that the glue is ready to use because it has that strength. When I tried it a couple hours ago, it pulled a little bit, but it wasn't strong like that where it pulls up. Now we're going to work on the 4-string viola, converting it to a 5-string. Okay, I'm at our viola table. This is our 4-string changing to a 5-string, and I've carefully planned out where the peg should go so there's enough room for your hand and for the pegs to turn. And so the next step is to drill the holes. So I hope you can help me keep this nice and perpendicular. Over here on the viola, we're doing touch-up on the scroll on both sides. It's not quite finished yet, but as soon as it's done, then we can start putting in the pegs and setting it up. The Challenging Cello. Okay, it's time to close the cello up again. So I've been preparing it for closing, and I'm going to put this on high speed so you don't get bored, and we'll close it up. Okay, the cello is closed back up. This time, hopefully for good. So we're gonna let that dry overnight. Next we go to our YouTube Violin. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do another coat of varnish on our YouTube Violin. There it is. And I've got just a couple minutes left before this camera dies. Back to our Minnesota violin. Well, I'm going to get ready to close this beautiful violin up. And this is just preserving the wood. Oh, I wanted to tap this. It's got a beautiful tone. Everything is free, and I'm really excited about closing this up and hearing what it sounds like. Okay, it's time to close up our Minnesota violin, and I'm going to tap it first. I'm not sure you're really going to be able to hear what it sounds like, but we'll try. Anyway, it sounds good and free, so I'm going to go ahead and close it up. So here's our beautiful Minnesota violin. We need to leave that for 24 hours, and then we can proceed to set it up. And let's take a peek outside and see what the bees are doing. Now, I want to apologize ahead of time. When I was filming the bees, I could not see what I was filming, and I was going way too fast with the camera. So on the second set of bees, which are the Italians, and they are moving very, very fast. I slowed it down halfway, but that's still not slow enough. So next time, I promise I will slow the camera down. But here's a glimpse. The first bees are the Caucasian bees, and they're very slow and friendly. They really don't seem to sting you. And then the last set of bees, which is the second frame, they are Italians, and they are everywhere, and if you're not careful, they'll sting you.
So, this is shop.
That's beautiful. Those babies.
Well, I can't tell what's what.
Okay, now I need to see this side. That's beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous.
So this is brood, I think, down there.
With honey on the top.
Honey on the top.
That's gorgeous. Look at how beautiful that is. That's getting better.
They go together.
There's got brood on here.
back to the 5-string viola. Okay, I'm going to dress the fingerboard on our 5-string viola. So my purpose here is to make this fingerboard as smooth as possible. Okay, it's time to start setting up our 5-string viola. We've got the varnish touch-up done and it's dry. So now it's time to start setting up, and I'll need to still work on the bridge, but we can see how this is coming. So I'm in the middle of carving this bridge. It's a beautiful maple bridge for our 5-string viola, and it's been fit to the top of the viola, and we've also got the shape on the top done, but that's just the beginning. We still have to tune the bridge and take off all the excess wood that doesn't need to be there. So that's what I'm doing now. Well, here's our bridge, and I just have a couple more cuts to make here on the side. There it is. Now I need to just cut these down and we'll be ready to put it on. There's the finished bridge ready to go. Here's our beautiful 5-string viola all set up. So we have a 5-string bridge now, a wider fingerboard, and 5 pegs all ready to go. The Minnesota violin, time to take the clamps off. Our Minnesota violin. Okay, I'm just setting up the violin and I'm checking to make sure that the sound post has full contact on both the top and the bottom plate. I love the tone. It has the feeling and vibration and sound of a very fine instrument. Nuances, so this is really enjoyable to play. Now, right now I have the steel strings on that the owner had on the violin, but I love the tone just the way it is. If we wanted to make it richer, I would put it on a synthetic set, and I think I'm going to do that right now, just so you can hear the difference. This would be a great example for anyone wondering about the difference between the steel and the pearl encore strings. Now I'm just going to put on an inexpensive set of pearl encore. I use them all the time, and of course you can always go to the more expensive sets, and the ones even with gut in them would really sound gorgeous on here. But it depends on what kind of music you're playing. And so if you're playing fiddle music mostly, then you may not want the pearl encore, but I found that a lot of fiddlers in the past have switched to pearl encore once they got their instrument sounding so nice. Okay, I'll see you back when I get this tuned up. Okay, I have changed these strings to Pro Art on the bottom 3 with a gold E. And because this has a new bass bar and new graduations, it's only going to improve in tone, but this is how it sounds right off. So I find it has a much fuller tone. The steel strings sound very nice, and then the pearl-on just gives it an even deeper tone. The Challenging Cello. Okay, I'm going to take the clamps off of this cello. See how everything turned out. Well, here we are Friday afternoon, and you can see the lenses are all clouded up. There we go. It's a little bit. It's a bright sunny day. I don't know if you can tell. Beautiful blue sky and lots of clouds, and it's humid today because it's supposed to rain, and I'm looking forward to that rain. So there we are Friday afternoon. Here we are in the shop. And it looks like I need to turn the light on. It's nice and cool down here. So we'll look at the projects that we're working on now. Here's the Challenging Cello. At this point, I just need to make one small repair on the outside, and then we can start varnishing. These sticks are from our first maple tree that we had to cut down. It didn't make it through the winter, and I don't know if it was too cold or if the water it was sitting in was too much, but anyway, here's our first maple. I have to think of something special to do with these. Here's our Minnesota violin. I'm very happy with this violin. It has a very nice tone, and right now we're discussing the varnish. Someone had put a coat of varnish over the top of this. The varnish may be just a little hard. It seems to be a really hard varnish on there. So we're thinking about either removing that varnish or, well, we'll see. We'll see if it's still here by next week. Here is our 5-string viola. This is all finished, and all we have left to do is to get a real long E string for the viola. I have a regular E on there, but it's not going to tune up like it should. So we need an extra long E string, which we're waiting to come in the mail. It was supposed to come yesterday, but maybe the holiday is messing up the schedule. Here's our YouTube Violin. It has a nice coat of varnish on here, and this may be the last coat we'll do. It's looking beautiful. We're out here in the bright sun. Okay, here we are at the Hebrew Minute. And thank you to all of you who have sent in verses that you like to hear. I have them all down on a list, and we're going to go through a rotation. Anyone else that wants to add a verse, just feel free, and I'll put it in the list. So your verses are coming. So this one starts with the word hoy. Kol tema laku lemaim, va'asher ein lo kesef. Laku shivru va'eklu, ulku shivru below kesef, below macher yain v'chalav. So the first word was ho, or take notice, all you who are thirsty, to go or to come to the water. And you who have no money, come and buy. Come and buy and eat. And, yes, come and buy. Without money and without price, wine and milk. Well, thank you so much for watching and for all your comments. I really enjoy them. Thank you for all your thumbs up. And thank you to the new subscribers. And until next time, God bless you. Bye. So there's a little tractor out here working on the ditch beside our property. And what's really nice is my dad had put in a little request to the city to take a look at this ditch because it tends to overflow when it rains and doesn't help with our flooding problem. And here they are. They're right out here taking care of business, which is really nice.